We're back here on Good Morning Lake Martin. It's about 14 past the hour here. Doug Roberts and Ann Rye here with us this morning. Doug had a great question following up with our first segment. Doug, you want to pose that?
Well, I did.
It's very interesting.
You know, we've been talking about the last few minutes, the first segment about money,
right,
and money that's been raised and invested. And my question was, how are you going to spend that money?
Yeah, it's a great question. It would be a question I would ask.
What's that being spent on?
Absolutely, because this is an investment program. It's
Correct.
not a donation. It's not charity. So there is a expected return on the investment from the business community and those that are involved. First of all, the bulk of our budget, there's 4 initiatives in our plan, and we've talked about these before on the program, but it's to recruit new to the market retail and commercial business. That initiative and the second initiative came out of, let me back up a little bit. We did a survey and we had over 60 face-to-face interviews with people in our community, businesses, individuals, religious leaders, government, people in our government serving in that area, and we compiled that information that they told us of what's important to this community. What does the chamber need to lead? And we figured out 4 initiatives we need to lead. We figured out a lot of places we need to partner, but 4 that we need to lead, and that's where we're going to allocate the budget. $60,000 will go to recruitment purposes, to recruit new to the market retail and commercial business here. Our goal, and the thing about it is, for investors, it is very specific action items and expected outcomes that we have to hit by a targeted year. The first one in recruitment, because recruitment is such a long process, and I don't think people understand that. This does not happen overnight. Conference centers and shopping centers do not pop out of the ground overnight. Foundations have been laid. I mean, we've been on a project now for about 3 years, and we're getting close to finalizing that, but these things take time, and you've got to get on, and I've jumped off this, but I want people to understand that, because we've outlined in our program to recruit 15 new to the market businesses within 5 years. So we're not saying we're going to recruit 5 each year, but when we get that big development, a lot that it's going to be a shot in the arm, and we'll actually have facilities to be able to recruit additional businesses. I can tell you right now at the chamber, we could probably have 6 or 7 of those under our belt as we speak if we had the proper developments for them to move into. A lot of new retail will not go into an existing structure. They want new structure because of the cost associated with that. So that's number one, $60,000 associated to new recruitment purposes. We've already spent and signed a contract with a company called Retail Strategies, and they are out of Birmingham based, actually have owned property here on the lake, some of their partners. They're very vested in Alexander City. I think they have a huge passion for our area. But they'll be compiling all the analytical data that will allow us to go to the market with relevant, informative information that will tell a business, commercial or retail, hey, you can make money here in Alexander City, and they will develop all of our marketing tools. They're working on that as we speak. They've begun. We'll have a big meeting with them hopefully tomorrow, and we're starting that process. Hired them last week. First huge step that the 2015 Board of Directors voted for. The next $60,000 are going to go to support our existing business, and we know that the businesses that are already here, we can have far more growth and economic impact by working with them and supporting them than the efforts of recruitment. So, it's been said several times, take care of the people that got you to the dance, and that's what we plan to do. And some of those things are convening meetings, having support to our business community through workforce developments and educational programs. We're actually evaluating a lot of entrepreneurship curriculum. Daryl Cooper is the chair of our Workforce and Education Committee this year, and so he's reviewing a lot of information that we've already discovered. So that's pretty exciting. We'll continue to work through Executive Resources, which is a team of seasoned, retired, very high-skilled professionals that are either retired on our lake or either have additional time inside our community still working. But these guys have already worked with 2 companies in 2014 that has resulted in a job growth of 3 jobs and 3 professional jobs. So that's big stuff. I mean, that's moving the needle. Yeah, it'd be great to get that hit of 200, 300 jobs at one hit, but taking care of existing business means growing that base. Hard work, but sometimes a little easier to do than recruiting new. The other portion of our budget, which leaves what we're at 60 and 60, we'll spend $30,000 on workforce and education. We have a lot of initiatives aligned in there. A good portion of that is through marketing, marketing our community college, marketing the opportunity here with our local education, supporting Gateway, and what that program means. And I know you're familiar out there with the Gateway Scholarship Fund. This is a financial dream for families that are looking to send their kids to college, and it only makes sense. I was very happy to hear that. I think Brett Pritchard came from CAC and spoke with the seniors, and it really resonated with a lot of them. I had an opportunity to speak to a group of them that said, you know, we really evaluated how much that piece of paper is going to cost us to get that diploma. And they're beginning to think student loans aren't necessarily the right way to go just to get to a four-year college. And it's an exciting time to move off and move away from your family. But if you can cut that cost in half by going 2 years and getting your core at a community college, or better yet, by looking at some of our technical fields that are paying far more than the direction that a four-year degree is paying, you really have to evaluate what you're doing to yourself as a young person, because it's just like if you were at 20 to run up a credit card debt of $5,000. Do the math on that of how long it's going to take you to pay that off at a minimum rate, and with your wages coming right out of school, you're going to start at the bottom of the pole. And this student debt, while it looks so attractive at a low interest rate, it's going to catch up with these kids, and it's putting them kind of under the barrel for a fresh start. And so we've got to work at educating them on that. A big portion of our money is going to go towards career fairs with all county high school students, not just our local area, but the county, connecting them with job opportunity and careers that are local. So a lot of great jobs right here in Alexander City, and they don't know about them. You know, it's like a little hidden treasure. They don't know how to get to them, and part of that's just age. You know, you identify with I want to be in marketing or whatever, but what does that job really look like? So we have some educational goals to hit there, as well as soft skills training. And you hear it over and over. You know, people will say, and because EDA, Lake Martin EDA, and the Chamber will overlap a little bit in workforce and education. But there is, and I've talked with the team there that does a great job of meeting some very specific curriculum needs, advocating with the college. Our role at the Chamber comes with that K through 12 and laying a foundation and a direction, opening up their eyes. We'll continue to teach choices, which teaches kids in the middle school. It gives them really a timeline and outlines, if I drop out of school, what does my life look like? And there's some real life experiences that they work through on that. We'll continue to do that. It's a pretty expensive program, and we do it with our volunteer support. But we'll also be adding entrepreneurship program. We're looking at one right now that's a competitive program. It functions, it'll actually employ a teacher, so it'll be a little income to one person, and then it meets after school, and they begin weekly to understand business, whether it's sole proprietor or a corporation, how those function. And they'll literally develop a business plan, learn how you file for your business license, and somebody will be funded to start up their own company.
How about that?
Through that program. So some of our money will be going that direction.
Nice.
The last initiative is a political advocacy initiative, a governmental affairs. One thing that came out of our meetings and our strategizing about this program is that we as a community have never set forth a legislative agenda and presented that to our elected officials. And so don't get mad at them if they're not doing what you want them to do, because we've never told them what we need them to do.
Exactly.
And so we'll be doing that, and got some pretty aggressive leadership in that. There's people that are passionate about it. There is no reason why the rest of the state needs to get the attention and we don't need to be in that pool. So there's lots of great things that are being looked at from a legislative standpoint. Mark Tuggle's partnered with us and said, yes, let me know what I can do for you. That's why I'm here. And so we're taking him up on that, and so we'll be kind of holding the feet to the fire on that. And there may be times where people have to go to Montgomery. Woven inside that is some field trips that we'll provide to our leadership, to communities that we would aspire to be, that have already figured,
Models.
models, peer communities that we think we have something in common from the core, and we've watched them progress in a certain way. So we don't have to rewrite, the handbook.
Right.
Let's learn from them
Yeah.
and partner with them.
Use it as a guideline then.
Absolutely,
Yeah, sure.
absolutely. So we'll get out and we'll do some of that. A lot of opportunity to convene some partnerships. Again, partnering with EDA in any way we can. We want to support their efforts in industrial recruitment. We're a big deal to them because when they're recruiting for industry, which is not our job, EDA does that. And so it's important to them, though, when they're working with that management and company owners, what quality of life do we have here? And so that's where we plug in a supportive role. So that's a partnership. We're not leading there. We're partnering with them to support them and give them the tools that they need to be successful.
Gotcha.
So.
Let's take a quick break. We've got some more questions about that. This is Good Morning Lake Martin.